Toysrus here. In the video where I'm going to be talking about a DC Collectibles Multiverse Wonder Woman movie line Wonder Woman figure that is the Toysrus exclusive with the kind of variant Build-A-Figure piece, which is not a necessary piece for Ares, however, it is an accessory for him. I will be making a separate video, if I have not already posted that, you can look forward to it, of the review of basically just the shield, basically an update to my Ares review. So let's talk about this. So obviously this is a really nice figure as far as characters concerned. This is a classic Wonder Woman, something that I think that the actual wave itself was sorely missing. There was two Wonder Woman figures in the wave, but they were both more obscure costumes. One was the Themyscira one, which I do like, but then the other one was the classic Wonder Woman, but in a really big black coat, which I think is just kind of ridiculous. I think that these should be switched. I think that the black coat one should be the exclusive, and the regular one should have been the one in the actual wave itself. However, that is not the case, but we do have at least some way of getting the standard Wonder Woman figure. I don't own the first Wonder Woman figure that came out in the Batman v Superman line because it looked awful. This one definitely does look better. It does look like an improvement, I can say that. Let's just get right into it. Before I talk about her accessories, going over the actual sculpt here, the face sculpt is decent. I mean, this is Mattel here, so, you know, I'm trying to give him some leniency. Obviously, the face isn't great or anything, but I think that it's not bad. Like, the first one was really awful, so I think that there is a solid improvement here in this face sculpt, and it's an improvement over the other two Wonder Woman figures in the Ares wave as well. So, you know, it's not horrible, but it's certainly not amazing either. But for Mattel's standard, it's pretty good, actually. The hair I do like. I like the fact that it's draping over her just on one side. And the sculpting of the hair is very nice, and the paint is very nice as well. It is a kind of black or very dark brown with a lighter brown that's been washed into it. So I do think that looks quite nice, and it is a softer plastic, so it is pretty pliable when you move her head around. It does take a little bit of force, but you can get it to move. Her skin tone does look pretty good. I know a lot of people had issues with the skin tone that didn't quite match on some of the areas on the Themyscira Wonder Woman. On this one, it actually matches pretty nicely on just about all areas. I think that it looks solid. My issue with it is, and I didn't even notice it until I moved the hair for a pose, but I have a big paint chip on mine, which is very disappointing and very unsightly. That looks awful. Now, luckily, just about every single pose, I mean, has it covered, so it's not a big deal, but it is something that is annoying, and it's obviously something that I couldn't tell from in package. Her costume does look quite nice, and the colors are decent. I like the gold a lot. I think the gold is very solid. You do have a lot of detail there in that gold outlining bits. I think that the blue is wonderful as well. It's like a dark metallic blue, which looks very cool. The red is what disappoints me. I think that the red is a bit bland. I would have liked to see it be a bit darker and more metallic, similar to what they did with the blue. I think having the red match the blue would be a lot better, and instead it's more of a glossy red rather than a dark metallic one, like the skirt is a dark metallic blue. So could have been better. I also find that there's issues with the paint just quality wise at the bottom there of the gold. It doesn't seem to be super even, which is definitely disappointing. Taking a look at the back, this whole strap assembly, as you can see, is not quite attached to her actual body here on this side or up here or anything. However, it is attached to the back. So unfortunately, you can't take it off. You know, it would have been kind of nice if you could take it off. But since you can't take it off, I would have liked them to like fit it to her body a lot better, like had it glued in place or something, because it does kind of fling out to the side, which doesn't look that great. And she obviously does have the lasso of truth here. I don't want to like force it. I would imagine this can open. Yeah, you can open it. Okay, good. So there is a little peg here that you can open. You can take the lasso of truth out. Unfortunately, though, the lasso, I mean, you can't do anything with it. It's because it's balled up. It would have been nice if the lasso could have been extended a bit. It is hard to get this peg back in. I have never opened it. There we go. But it's a soft rubber peg, so it can be difficult to get back. But overall, it does hold it nicely. And you do have a little hole there where you can put the sword in. I believe this is the same sword. Yeah, it's the same sword that comes with the black jacket Wonder Woman. But as you can see, she can hold it there. But again, since it's not attached to her, it does kind of just like float out to the side, which is pretty annoying, I must say. And then her legs, quite nice. Everything looks good. Again, though, not super happy with the shade of red that they went with. As far as her accessories go, she has a lasso, like I said. Again, she has the sword. The sword is detailed very nicely. think that you've got a lot of good detail throughout there in the actual blade itself, as well as on the handle, and she can hold it pretty nicely. As you can see, looks very good. And then she does come with a shield, which is very nice. That's something that the other Wonder Woman figures did not come with that were in the Ares wave. But as you can see, the detail on the shield is very nice. I'm not sure if she's going to use 2 shields in this movie. If like she has a Themyscira shield and then she has like a shield that she actually takes to Man's World. I'm not quite sure. But I do like this version nonetheless. I think it looks very cool. It's like a really dark, like charcoal gray almost, which is kind of interesting. And then it has a very, light gold brushed into it. The gold isn't done too heavily. It's done just pretty perfectly. I think it looks very nice. You have excellent detail right there. The inside looks awful. They really didn't do anything with the inside, which is unfortunate, but not a huge issue. And then you do have just these 2 straps, which are rather thick straps here. You can put it in her hand, and I've done it before. Might be a little hard just to do it on a whim here. Oh yeah, there you go. Did pretty nicely. So yeah, so she can hold it quite nicely. The sword fell out. So she can hold it quite nicely. The only issue with it is it's rather large. As you can see, it's very big, which I don't think looks terribly bad, but it is not in scale. If you do look at some of the pictures of her in the movie, the shield is smaller. So that is disappointing, but it isn't horrible, I must say. So I'd rather have it too big than too small, just because it still looks nice this way. If it's too small, it just looks odd. So I do still prefer it to be like this. However, it isn't accurate, but it does look wonderful. I really do like it. It fits the costume very nicely. Her articulation is very good. She's got a ball joint, or it's decent for Mattel. She's got a ball jointed head, which is a bit hindered by the hair, but you can push the hair out of the way. You have ball hinge shoulders with a bicep swivel, hinge swivel elbows, which, the swivel is really unnecessary there. The hinge doesn't even quite go 90 degrees. Swivel wrists. You have a swivel waist. You have ball jointed thighs, which are hindered by the skirt, but you can kind of push the skirt out of the way a bit if you use force. Swivel at the thigh, single hinge knee, which goes 90 degrees, and then hinge ankles, which go very far. So overall articulation is standard for Mattel. Wish that it was a bit better, but it is still, it's decent. So let's do a comparison here with the other Wonder Woman figures. So here's the 3 Wonder Woman figures in this wave, and again, only 2 of them are specifically needed for Ares. However, all of them come with some sort of Ares Build-A-Figure piece. As you can see, I do think that the middle 2, or sorry, that the 2 with her classic costume do reuse the same torso and legs. I'm pretty sure it's the same on both, and it uses just about the same colors. The arms on all of them do seem to be new. I would imagine that these 2 would have the same arms, but they don't. As you can see, just based on the joint there at the elbow, they don't. They might use the same upper arm. Well, no, they don't. They use completely separate arms. The hands on all of these might be the same, however, and then the heads on all of them are definitely different. The best head sculpt, in my opinion, is the middle one. I think that it definitely does look the best. Has the best painted eyes, too, which is a big problem for Mattel. However, with this one, it's really not a problem at all. However, I did go through several of these Wonder Woman figures on the shelf to pick out the best one, so just specifically mine's a little bit better than some of the others that I did see. However, I think that in general they all look a lot better than the last Wonder Woman figure from the Batman v Superman line, which just looked atrocious. So I don't think that you need all 3 of these for sure. However, if you are building Ares, obviously you're going to have to get all 3. I think that the best figure is definitely the middle one based on the figure alone, and then as far as the character goes, the middle one is definitely the best in general. Here's a comparison with the Collect and Connect figure, the antagonist of the film Ares. So as you can see, I haven't seen the movie yet at the time of filming this. I'm actually going to see it in a few hours. I'm very excited. But at the time of filming this, I have not seen the movie yet, so I can't quite say if this is accurate or anything like that. However, I do think that just they look great together. They really do. I think that they look like they come from the same line, and it's a really nice scale. So I do have a lot of fun posing these 2 together and taking photos. I will be posting that on Instagram if you'd like to check it out. But overall, I think that the scale with these 2, I can't say if it's accurate, but it does look very nice. So overall, this is quite a good figure of the Wave. I mean, Mattel's standards already are pretty low. However, for Mattel, this is a nice figure. I do like it, and I do think that her Build-A-Figure piece accessory that she comes with is very nice with Ares, so I do like it for that as well. I like this figure. I think it's pretty solid. If you have the rest of the Wave, you already have versions of Wonder Woman, although they might not be ideal. They're good enough that you can put them in all the same poses that you can do with this one and everything. So I would only recommend this if you are looking for a really classic-looking Wonder Woman figure. And again, doesn't come with a necessary Build-A-Figure piece or Collect-to-Connect piece. However, the piece that she does come with is really cool. So I would recommend this if you want a classic Wonder Woman figure and you're interested in the Collect-to-Connect piece. If both of those are you, then I would definitely recommend this. If not, this is probably one that you can skip or wait for a good sale on. So there you go. That's my very review of the DC Comics Multiverse from the Wonder Woman movie wave. Wonder Woman herself. It is a Toysrus exclusive. Let me know what you guys think of this figure, and thanks so much for watching.